In a twist of fate, I found myself abruptly thrust into the pages of a novel I had been reading on my phone moments before a fatal bus accident claimed my life. As the bus careened and overturned with a thunderous crash, a surge of desperation washed over me. I wasn't ready to die. In that fleeting moment, as the chaos unfolded around me, I realized there were countless things left unfinished in my life. My recently established yoga center had just begun to find its footing, and I yearned to achieve my dream of financial independence and a peaceful countryside retirement. I couldn't accept that my existence would be shattered like a shattered phone, left with unfulfilled aspirations. It was then that an unfamiliar voice echoed through my fading consciousness. "I am Elsa Ortiz. Please save him. I'm begging you." Elsa's voice pleaded with me. Elsa Ortiz? The secondary character from the novel I was engrossed in? I wondered, puzzled by the connection. Her role in the book had been a tragic and premature death, a mere footnote in the narrative. Having delved deep into the novel's intricacies, I knew precisely whom she referred to as him, the enigmatic third prince of Eastheim. Princess Elsa, a royal hostage snatched by the Eastheim Empire following her brother's betrayal, endured a life of cold indifference within the imperial confines. It was only the third prince, Ixion, who had shown her kindness, reaching out to comfort her shattered soul. From that moment of compassion, Elsa had fallen passionately in love, cherishing the first flicker of warmth she had ever encountered. Now, as the fabric of my consciousness merged with Elsa's. "Princess, are you awake? I've prepared a special tea for you. Please have a cup before you eat." Sarah, my lone confidant in the desolate palace corner, offered with a gentle smile. "Sarah," I began, my mind racing with newfound awareness. There was no time for astonishment or panic over my inexplicable reincarnation. Drinking that tea would seal my fate, just as the novel foretold. Dispose of the tea immediately. Discard every trace of those leaves, I instructed, my urgency reflecting the desperate desire to survive. Unknown to the world, Elsa's own brother, Decan, the king of Ortiz, was secretly preparing to wage war against Eastheim once again. Fearing defeat at the hands of the third prince, Decan had orchestrated a clandestine plot to eliminate the royal family, with Elsa as his primary target. If she were to survive, there was no doubt she would expose their treacherous plans. Drawing strength from Elsa's desperate plea, I rose to my feet, albeit with a hint of physical discomfort. It became apparent that Elsa's struggles with obesity and a sedentary lifestyle had taken their toll on her body, challenges that I would need to overcome. Getting fat due to a lack of exercise. Yoga, once a cherished hobby and profession, would need to practice again. However, urgent matters need to do before I could indulge in personal betterment. "Sarah, when is the third prince's birthday banquet?" I inquired, knowing that within that lavish celebration lay the seeds of assassination. "You mean Prince Ixion?" Sarah responded, her voice tinged with curiosity and a touch of admiration. "It's today." Today was the day when the dark conspiracies would come. The day of the assassination coincided with the third prince's birthday banquet. "It's rather late, but send a reply stating that I will attend the banquet," I declared. Sarah's eyes widened in disbelief. Time was running out, and her concern was well-founded. Attending banquets had become a distant memory for Elsa, as she had avoided them since the victory banquet 3 years ago. But, are you sure you want to go?" Sarah pleaded, her voice filled with worry. "Yes, I am going. Inform the banquet organizer immediately that I will be attending," I affirmed. Sarah quickly scurried away and returned with a collection of basic cosmetics, combs, hairpins, and inexpensive perfumes. While I appreciated her heartfelt gesture, I didn't expect a miraculous transformation. Opening the closet, I found only one dress, a faded, frilly red gown. Unfortunately, Elsa's weight gain from her confinement meant the dress no longer fit properly. It was a pitiful sight, far from the elegance befitting a princess. Despite Sarah's efforts to arrange my hair and choose accessories, it stubbornly remained disheveled, resisting all her attempts. I couldn't predict what awaited me as I walked down the hall. Surely, I would be met with astonished gazes and laughter. "I will return," I assured Sarah, who anxiously stamped her feet. These were the words I often shared with members of my yoga center in my previous life, comforting those who were troubled by their body image. Why spend each day fretting over how others perceive us? We can confidently forge our own path. If we are strong, we won't be easily hurt. Don't worry. For Elsa and for me, life had been long and arduous, with far more significant concerns than reputation or scornful remarks. As Elsa recalled her past experiences, her mind traveled back to that fateful victory banquet 3 years ago. She had been forced to attend, unable to avoid the spotlight as a hostage. Oh my, have you seen the condition of her dress? It's disgraceful. Artistes didn't even bother to groom their princess properly. The disregard for her as a defeated princess and the blatant criticism of her appearance pierced Elsa's heart. She shrunk further, bowing her head, and isolating herself from the judgmental gazes. Shall we make a bet? How many men do you think will ask the princess to dance? I bet no one will. Elsa endured the weight of her shame, her eyes fixated on the floor's patterns. It was exactly what she had expected when she found herself trapped in this situation. Then, a large hand extended into Elsa's blurred vision, catching her by surprise. "Princess Elsa Artis." The voice was low and measured. "May I have the honor of one dance?" Elsa lifted her gaze in disbelief. Calm, blue eyes met her own, and she felt the collective attention of the banquet hall focused on her. "I feel so sorry for letting this situation happen. Though I'm sure you'll have good memories while you're here, princess." In a way, it was the enemy prince who had been instrumental in Artis' defeat. But Elsa's heart fluttered with an unfamiliar feeling. Don't feel hurt by the teasing of those ignorant people. Despite the sympathy and guilt that prompted his invitation, she sensed a genuine respect and goodwill that she had never experienced in her own country. Even in her dying moments, as she realized Deccan's true target was Ixion, Elsa's sorrow was overshadowed by her concern for the prince's safety. Though they had not seen each other in 3 years, she could never forget his act of kindness. Instead of living her life, I once again vowed to fulfill her wishes. As I made my way towards the opulent banquet hall, my mind was consumed by thoughts of the future. The weight of responsibility rested heavily on my shoulders, for not only did I have to protect myself from Deccan's relentless pursuit, but I also had to break free from the suffocating imprisonment within the imperial palace. The time had come for me to escape and reclaim my freedom. In the midst of the extravagant third prince's birthday banquet, Aiden Jibes, a popular celebrity and love advisor, found himself surrounded by adoring women. However, his attention was drawn to Ixion, the enigmatic prince who appeared bored and disinterested amidst the grand affair. It was known that Ixion had distanced himself from noble circles and remained unmarried, showing no interest in women. As the conversation took an exciting turn, the banquet hall's doors swung open, revealing the unexpected guest. "Princess Elsa Artis has graced us with her presence," the murmurs spread like wildfire. I sighed inwardly, fully aware of the consequences her sudden appearance would bring. Her outdated attire, anxious gait, and disheveled hair only served to emphasize her outsider status. "Is the prince going to dance with her like 3 years ago?" one lady questioned. Whispers spread, criticizing Elsa's weight gain and fashion choices. The atmosphere crackled with curiosity as people speculated whether she expected Ixion to dance with her as he had done 3 years ago. While Ixion seemed disinterested, Aiden couldn't take his eyes off Elsa. However, his captivation had little to do with the crowd's presumptions about her. No, it was something else. As someone well-versed in observing human behavior, noticed a crucial difference in Elsa compared to their last encounter. Despite her disheveled appearance, she held her head high, displaying a determined demeanor. Her missteps were overshadowed by her strong posture, and her piercing red eyes radiated a fiery resolve. It was clear that she had a singular goal in mind, and nothing else seemed to matter to her. Today, something truly extraordinary is about to unfold, Ixion muttered, caught up in the anticipation of the unknown. And in a moment that defied all expectations, Elsa stepped forward without hesitation, defying the judgmental stares, and extended her hand towards Ixion. "Please dance with me?" The collective gasp that swept through the banquet hall spoke volumes about the astonishment that gripped everyone, myself included. What will Ixion's response to Elsa's unexpected request for a dance? Will her presence have an impact on the disinterested Prince Ixion? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.